So here's what happened. Last week we messed up the audio, and by we I mean me, because I wanted to be funny and get in front of the camera to whatever. Point is, we're making tacos. We're making 2 tacos, skirt steak. God, what was the other one? So what we're making for this video is a short rib taco, a skirt steak taco, and a mushroom taco. The mushroom taco is completely vegan, and the other 2 are not, but it's so delicious. So if I don't make tacos like twice a week, I probably order it from somewhere. And wherever I go traveling, I've had tacos in Seattle, obviously Dallas, obviously New York, which is the best place outside of Mexico, even though a lot of people don't agree with me, especially the person behind the camera. But we also had tacos in Paris, which was those tacos in Paris were dope. All that to say is, everywhere I go, I try tacos. Every week, I eat at least 2 different kinds of tacos. And I can't live without them. So I'm going to walk you through the process, making the tacos from scratch. Talking about your proteins, you're going to trim it, you're going to marinate it, you're going to cook it. And from your veggies, which is mushrooms, you're going to cut it, saute it, and then marinate it. You'll see how everything plays out, but it's going to be amazing, it's going to be delicious, and you're going to have a good time. This I learned from a lot of different people and places that I've worked at. Starting with the rosemary. The flavor, the smell of rosemary is amazing. Some people don't like it. You can use thyme if you want. I prefer rosemary. I don't know how else to describe it. It's amazing. Start off by taking the actual leaves off the big stems. So just easy way to do it. Hold it from the top of the stem or the bottom of the stem, or the top of it, and then push your fingers, slide them down this way. See? Come off super easily. So far I have, this is 3 sprigs. Let's do 1 more, just for the fun of it. Again, find the top of it. Boom, done. And then for the top, just pull it off and you're good. It's all going to be blended, obviously, but let's give it a rough chop just to give it a head start. You can literally smell it already. It's like so fragrant. It's going to add a lot of flavor. So about 4 sprigs of rosemary. Another nice herb. It's going to be our cilantro. Again, cilantro, stems and all. There's so much flavor in the stems already. Just keep it in there. Let's do whatever this amount is. Just enough to give it a lot of flavor, but not overpower everything. Again, rough chop. It's obviously going to the blender. So, man, it smells like Mexico already. Garlic is the greatest thing to ever happen to, besides tacos. The garlic is amazing, tastes good. We're gonna use, so we're marinating about 3 different things. Let's use 2 per item that we're marinating. So total of 6 cloves. It seems like a lot, but when you put it with everything else, it's gonna kind of just go well with everything else. 6. So in case you don't know, easiest way to get the skin off the garlic, put it on a table or cutting board, and then smash it a little bit, and then look at that, easy. all that. You don't have to rough chop this one. This is fine. This is gonna get blended easily. Now we have our herbs and our garlic chopped up and into the blender. Now we add our liquids. Let's use 2 limes for this one for right now because we also have soy sauce going in there. We also have oil, so let's use 2. These are pretty big limes. So if they're smaller, use 3. Some people like to use a lime zest for marinades and stuff like that. We already have so many herbs that we don't need the lime zest in there. So just the juice of 2 limes. So now that we have our herbs and our garlic in there, we're gonna add our soy sauce. Soy sauce is like the best thing to do for marinades. This is another trick I learned at a restaurant that I used to work at where the marinade is actually garlic, rosemary, and soy sauce, and that's pretty much it. If you use too much, it's gonna be too soy saucy. If you use just the right amount and you have other things to kind of like mix with it, it's gonna be amazing. So right now I'm gonna add, what is 1/4 of a quarter? Pause for a second. 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. That's exactly 2 tablespoons. That's crazy. Oh, jeez. This is gonna take a while. Remember, we're marinating 3 things with this, so there's gonna be a lot. 1/2 cup of oil. Cool. Let's do some black pepper first. I know it seems like a lot. Remember, this is for 3 things, so don't get crazy. Just a pinch of salt, because remember that we have the soy sauce in there that's very salty already, so not too much. Right there. Done. Simple. Now we're just gonna blend it and marinate. It's so easy. Yo. Smell that. No, but actually you smell that. It's like a smoothie. You can drink this. No. All right. So today we're using 2 types of beef. One is skirt steak. One is short rib. When you get a steak at a restaurant, a dry aged ribeye or a filet mignon or whatever like that, everybody likes it medium to medium rare. That's how I love my steak like that. You're not gonna find a medium rare taco in Mexico ever. And that's because a lot of the meat that they use was the inexpensive, the more cheaper cuts of meat, which you couldn't trust if they were medium rare or rare, because you could get sick. I think there's a thing with Mexican people, like you don't like your steak rare or medium or anything like that. I grew up like that, but I learned to like it later on. Because we have the marinade, that's gonna add moisture and flavor. So if you cook it well done, it's not gonna lose anything, and it's still gonna be a good taco. I specifically bought short rib, which was 2 pounds of short rib was $8 at my local supermarket, which is nothing because you're gonna be able to make a lot of tacos out of these. For this short rib, we're gonna take off this layer of fat that's on the side. As you can see, there's still plenty of marbling everywhere around there, so you're not gonna miss the fat at all. There's still gonna be a nice amount of fat. But what we're gonna do to kind of like make sure the marinade goes through the meat, just cut it in half right here, and then almost like if it was a Philly cheesesteak, but it's not. Slice, 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 slice. So you should have pieces like this. Okay. So we're gonna do that for the entire short rib. These are boneless short ribs, by the way, in case you were wondering. As thin as you can get it. Same thing for this one, this kind of layer of fat right here. We don't need that. Plenty of fat in the short rib. Let's get rid of that. Yes, fat is flavor, but you don't want any chewy pieces of short rib in your taco. All right, we're gonna put our short rib into the Ziploc bag. We're just gonna add a little bit of the marinade. Okay. Don't need to. That's it. That's all you need right there. Try to get all the air out of it as much as you can. Close it up. This is great for audio, right? Make sure it gets in through every little piece of short rib. And this is how it should look at the end of it. Beautiful. This will go into the fridge for, you can do it overnight, at least 4 hours to kind of get those flavors to really permeate the meat. So, fridge time. So now we're moving on to the skirt steak. And skirt steak, it's also called arrachera in Spanish. You see this a lot in Argentinian cooking as well. They put it in like a churrasco, a nice grill, and a parrilla. Sometimes, this is the first time I'm looking at this one, so sometimes they can have, that nice fat cap right here. That, again, fat is flavor. For these tacos, we don't need it because we have the marinade already, providing a lot of extra flavor. So we're gonna do a nice little trim on this. Let's cut it in half just to make it a little bit easier. Again, this side is beautiful. It's already marbled, it's already trimmed. This side, we need to take some of this excess fat off, so try to like, first of all, you can pull a lot of this off. Right, whatever you can't pull off, just start slicing. Try not to pierce the meat yet. Okay, let's do that. Pull that off. A little bit more trim here. This nice little piece right here, we're gonna get rid of it as well. Just cut like diagonally into that. There we go. Perfect. And your skirt steak should look pretty much like this. Okay, nice and trim. Let's get this little piece off too. All right, so for the skirt steak, I'm gonna cut it in half, right? And then try to find the thickest piece. So this would be like the thickest piece right here. And make it easier. Start slicing. Right? Like that. And you should have pieces like this. Nice and thin, but still enough to like hold up against the heat. And get as many pieces as from one little slice as you can. Be very careful with this. If you don't have a sharp knife, you can put it in the freezer for about, let's do like maybe 20 minutes so you can get a little bit more firm, and it'll make it easier to cut. But I do have a sharp knife, so we're good. Pieces of skirt steak arrachera should look like this, nice and thin. We're gonna do the same thing we did with the short rib. Get our Ziploc, throw it in here, hit it with the special marinade. I don't have a name for this yet. We should come up with a name for it. All right. The rest of this is gonna be for our vegetarian, vegan taco. Again, squeeze the air out as much as you can. And get to mixing. Skirt steak is good to go. Let's put it in the fridge. Again, 4 hours in the fridge or overnight, either way works. So we're gonna do a mushroom taco as well. These are baby portobellos. We wanna kind of like replicate the idea that, you know, these are vegetarian, but we want them to taste like meat in a way. So what we're gonna do, instead of slicing them super fine, we're gonna do half and then a quarter. So this is how it's gonna look. Obviously these are gonna shrink in size as well, but when you bite into it, it's gonna soak up all the flavors from the marinade that you're gonna add. But two, it's not gonna just be all mushy and nasty. It's gonna have some texture to it. So I have 6 mushrooms. They're about medium size. Oh, missed. Look at that. Okay, so we cut them up already. We diced them. We placed them into a bowl. I'm not going to marinate. I'm not going to salt them, pepper them, add our marinade into them until after. The only other extra thing that we're going to add to this is 1 chopped garlic, super fine. And that's it. So meat's been marinated. This is a short rib, and this is the skirt steak and mushrooms. For the mushrooms, we're gonna add a clove of garlic. Garlic. Just give it a rough chop. It's gonna just enhance the flavor a little bit. Okay, so we have about a tablespoon of oil in each saute pan. We're gonna turn the heat on. This is going medium to medium high, and then the same thing for the mushrooms. Mushrooms in. The mushrooms, you can put it in while the pan is still cold, and it could come up to heat. It's normal heat. The short rib, we're gonna wait until the pan is super hot. Don't worry about the excess moisture. You're gonna see it is gonna start evaporating pretty soon, and you're gonna be left with like nice crunchy bits. The mushrooms sound like you're like splashing water in there. It's creating a nice crust right now, so that's gonna help give it a texture of the meat. Just look at that crust that you're getting right there. This is exactly what we want for our mushrooms. I would still give it another couple minutes just to get a little bit more browning on that. And then we can start stirring. Look at that. Come on. That is gorgeous. One of my favorite taquerias in New York, in Queens, which is the best place to get tacos in the world, except for Mexico. They serve it with some deep fried jalapenos that get nice and soft. Cut it open, throw some lime and some salt on top of it, and it's amazing. So I'm kind of replicate that, but I'm gonna let it cook with the juices and the marinade that we'd use for everything. It's been about 5 minutes. Now we can start stirring up our mushrooms. Oh yeah. As you can see, all the oil that was in there is now gone, which is good. Throw a little bit more in there just to kind of get it going. Just a tiny bit more. Okay. Now, at this point, we're going to add a little bit of seasoning to the actual mushrooms without the marinade. So, black pepper. Just a tiny bit of salt, because we already have salt in the marinade with the soy sauce and the salt itself. Okay. And now we're going to splash of white wine. I'm using a Sauvignon Blanc, just a little bit. Anytime you put alcohol or wine into a pan, take it off the heat. That's it, just a splash. Throw in our garlic. And finally, throw in the rest of our marinade. Give this another couple minutes as well, just to get a nice crunch on there. Check our jalapenos. Look at that. That's pretty. That's really nice. I'm flipping this over so the inside can be cooked as well. And the mushroom is soaking up more of that flavor. You can see the color is different. It's more brown. That means the marinade is cooking. And also, it looks like the marinade is disappearing. That's because the mushrooms soaked in that flavor. So we can literally let that just sit there, medium-high heat for another minute, and you're good to go. Come on, this is what we want. That right there. That's what we want. Man. Make sure to spread out your pieces of meat. Super easy way for our toppings, which is going to be cilantro, onions, and lime. So grab your cilantro bunch, twist it in half, get it in a nice little bunch, fingers out of the way, stems and all. You don't need a perfect tiny dice on this, just it's rustic, it's a taco. Simple, easy way to chop onions, long ways. Okay, we're not using the whole onion, so put that to the side. This is gonna be what holds everything together, right here, the bottom of it. So turn it this way. Cut this part off, the top of it. Right. Look at that, it still holds together. So now we're gonna make slice this way. Only using half of it, so only go halfway, about here. Another slice this way. And if you could do another one more. Right? And then go down, 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 all the way across. Alright, you already see these nice little bits here. Now, look at that. Look how easy that is. Simple, easy, nice little dice on the onion. We just let this sit here for about 5 minutes. This is a skirt steak de arrachera. And look at the nice crust we got. Look. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So now that our skirt steak is done, we're gonna pull it off the heat onto a cutting board. As you can see, there's a grain here, right? You see the lines going this way, up straight? We're gonna dice it across to make it a little bit more tender. So all you're gonna do is rough top it like that. You can go down across too, so you won't have too big chunks. That's it. Hot. That was too hot. Guys, here we are at the end of the line. I cannot tell you how long I've been waiting to do this and share this with you guys. We have everything that we need to make the best taco of your life. So, obviously we got some freshly made tortillas that I made earlier. Now, the way I like to heat them up, for the mushroom taco, there was a lot of remaining oil from the marinade and stuff like that. It's not on anymore, just throw it in there and kind of heat it up. Same thing for the arrachera and the short rib. Okay, simple. This is our mushroom here. Look at that. Nothing like a nice greasy taco. So let's start with the skirt steak. First things first, our carne arrachera. These tortillas are a little big, but on this side, we're gonna do our short rib. Beautiful. Mushroom. First, let's add some cilantro to all of them. Onion to all of them. Let's do pico on this one, on the mushroom one, just to kind of give it a different texture. Let's do like a one on the arrachera on the skirt steak. Actually, let's do on both steak ones. And let's just have this one with the pico de gallo. Get your grilled jalapeno on there. And of course, a lime. Everything that we've learned, that I've done, that I've showed you guys in the last 2 videos, all coming together. Arrachera taco, short rib taco, and mushroom taco. First things first, lime on your taco. But we're also going to put lime on the jalapeno because it could be spicy. So you want to tame it a little bit. Throw just a little bit of salt on top of the jalapeno. Start with the short rib. See what's up with this. You see that? All right, going for it. It's stupid. This is stupid good. This is like your street tacos you find in Mexico or wherever you go to get your nice traditional street tacos. It's not too elevated. It's not medium rare filet mignon steak or anything like that. It's street. The marinade in the beef, you still taste it even though you have all these toppings and the lime and the cilantro. It's literally, it's amazing. It's awesome. Let's try the skirt steak. Mouth is on fire. Let's do it. You know what? It's actually not that spicy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the marinade or something like that, but you don't really get the huge hit of spice. It is. There's a little bit. But the flavor is just out of control. I've been really excited to try the mushroom run. I'm not a vegetarian person at all. Obviously, I just eat this, but I've been really looking forward to this one. So let's move on to it. A little bit of lime on the jalapeno. Lime on the taco. Let's get some salt on the jalapeno. Let's do it. Let's do this one. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna say about this one. I'm not trying to hide the fact that there's a mushroom. There is mushroom in here. It tastes like mushroom. But the crunch of the mushroom, the crunch of the pico, everything works so well together. Like if I had to do like vegetarian for like a month or something like that, I would probably make this like 5 times a week. Those mushrooms are awesome. The marinade really got into the mushrooms. Tastes delicious. This is solid. This is legit. Guys, thank you so much for watching the 3rd episode of Pinche Pepe. This was tacos. This was everything coming together at the end. The salsas, the tortillas, everything coming together to make the greatest contribution to the culinary world and to the world in general, a taco. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment. Find me on Instagram at a pinch of Pepe. And please keep subscribing and liking. Thank you so much, guys. Mm-hmm.